Hello, and welcome back to Project DOT. It's certainly been a while, which means there's a lot to show, including the entirety of Master Mode. You'd think I'd be close to releasing the new update then, but let's just say I've learned a lot at uni and I've realised how terrible some of my systems are. Namely, the UI is horrendously built, and also doesn't really match the theme. As well as this, I'm going to be adding some other visual elements to make the area look a lot more like cyberspace. You may have noticed the eerie music playing in the background. That is one of two new pieces of music that were made for DOT by an associate. That's enough preamble. Let me show you what I've made. When starting a master run, you spawn midway into the dungeon. This is to reduce the amount of retreading old ground. The spawn point is placed specifically next to a fork in the road, so you can choose which way you want to enter the hard mode areas. Let's start by introducing the main mechanic of Master Mode. Gravity blocks. When inside, gravity is lowered, allowing the player to jump further and higher. This room is quite central, and it's most likely going to be the player's first introduction to the gravity blocks. For example, bounce pads send you significantly higher in low gravity. Above that area, there is a route which leads to hidden rewards like data, and also the location of a data cache. Each area in hard mode has a path which allows you to enter in master mode. This area makes further use of the jump switch circles, as well as using the gravity blocks. A new enemy is also introduced in this area. Instead of shooting projectiles in a straight line, this one shoots homing bullets. Further ahead, the player has to dodge glitch walls and eventually ends up wrapping around to the central blue room of Master Mode. You can also go through that area in the opposite direction, which you may notice is significantly easier. This was done intentionally, as it is a long way back all the way to the start. A new path has been added to hard mode in the yellow section, which gives easier access to Master Mode Yellow. After a small section of gravity block platforming, you reach the main area of Yellow Master. This section is focused on dodging projectiles whilst manoeuvring along narrow paths. The lower path is easier, however it can be blocked off by firewall. Using the gravity blocks you can make your way to the other side, where there could be a data cache. After that there is a very narrow vertical platforming section. This also links back to the central room. At first glance, yellow is a one-way route. However, if you take an upper path in blue, there are some hidden blocks you can jump across. Back in the central path, after doing some more gravity block platforming, there is a vertical section. This makes use of the bounce pads, but placing them on the walls to have you jump into them to send you up. This leads to the furthest reaches of Master Mode, the tower. The wall bounce pads are introduced earlier, so the main challenge using them can be here when ascending the tower. As well as just providing variety, it allows for backtracking to be quicker. This is so runs don't become too long. There is also a downward path, which leads to a spot where another data cache could be. Virus can make this harder by removing the gravity block which slows your descent. Hard mode also adds two new cards, Rapid Spike Spin and Void Eyes. RSS gives you various effects for a limited time. However, if it is used after you have got the data cache, the length of those effects will be increased. Void Eyes gives a less powerful version of the gravity lowering properties of gravity blocks. To be honest, the footage in this video is rather outdated. The project has made leaps and bounds in progress, especially visually. There's still a decent bit left to do before I can release a new version, sadly. There's also another game jam which I will be participating in, so that will take some time away from DOT's development. This week's art piece has every single character that is in DOT's cards. It's a bit noisy having to try and fit 20 characters onto it, but it worked out alright. Winning Crescent, signing off.